界なんて誰の誰の果て答えも欲しいのもいごってこれだけ
Hello, friend. As you saw in the video title, today we are going to be talking about why not to hate furries. And after this video, if you don't change your opinion on furries, and you still want to listen to the lies you tell yourself, and you continue hating on us for a hobby, fuck you, go to hell. Now, anyways, let's get started. Okay, first off, for those who don't know what a furry is, it is somebody who is interested in anthropomorphic animals. If you don't believe me, let Google. Such as a walking, talking humanoid animal. Kind of like all those Disney movies, Robin Hood, etc. Those who sometimes also can want to dress up like one, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, now you know what a furry is. Now let's talk about why you should not hate furries. Okay, before we get into this topic, I would like to show you a video by Nefertiti. It is her story on how she saved someone's life by being a furry.
So I really like this comment, and I wanted to highlight it and share a story with all of you. In the first year that I was a fursuiter and I started making fursuits, I had Winza 1.0, the very first full suit I'd ever made. And I was just out public suiting one day, walking around the park and whatnot, and someone approached me and was like, "Hey, I would really love if you could come to our nursing home in that costume and just kind of cheer up all the old fogies. They've been all down lately, and I think it's something they'd really enjoy." I was ecstatic. I was like, "Yeah, sure, no problem. I'll be there next day, whatever you want me to be, I'll do it." A couple days go by, I show up at the nursing home in costume, and I cannot tell you how big the smile on my face was when I saw how big the smiles on their faces were when they saw me in suit. I mean, people with no teeth just the happiest senior faces of smiles. They laughed, they pet the suit, and they were like, "Wow, it's so soft." They loved when I'd wiggle the head and the ears would bounce around, and when I'd move the little fingers and stuff. And I also had my little whistle with me, which this is a bird whistle. It's not like a dog toy squeaker. So when I put this thing in, it just sits on the roof of my mouth. And it just makes really cute noises, and they absolutely loved it. It was a great day. I was there for, I want to say probably like 2, maybe 2.5 hours. And then I went home, had a good time, came back a couple days later to just be like, "Hey, you know, I just wanted to stop by and say thank you again for this awesome opportunity. It was tons of fun." I brought them like a little goodie basket full of a bunch of cookies and stuff that I made to give to the seniors. And a young woman approached me, and she looked like she was ready to cry for a while, and I was kind of like, are you okay? Is everything all right? And she goes, "I was here when you were here the other day in your costume, and you made my mother's year. She's been suffering with Alzheimer's for years now. She struggles to remember my name, let alone what she had for breakfast yesterday. But in the 4 days since you've been here, she has non-stop talked about you and your costume, and how you make them, and how soft it was, and the sounds. She cannot forget how amazing that experience was. And you've helped restore a little bit of that memory for her, that she can still remember things." And I broke down and cried a little bit myself, because it really is amazing what a positive impact you can make on someone's life as a fursuiter.
Oh, that was a beautiful, heartwarming story, Nefertiti. It really is amazing what furries can do for people. Anyways, I'd just like to say, if you still hate on furries after that video, and we're not even finished yet, anyways, you have no soul. Now, here are my reasons not to hate furries. I'd first like to talk about the things that people do hate about furries. Things like zoophilia, sexual stuff. Anyways, that is not affiliated with the fandom in any way. The furry fandom is a sub-community. People do what they want when they like, and the only thing that makes them a furry is, again, being interested in anthropomorphic animals and calling yourself a furry. People do what they want when they want. and it's none of our business what they do. While it is disgusting, gross, fucked up, and unacceptable, there is nothing we can do about it, sadly. There are over 1 million furries worldwide, and it is nearly impossible to stop someone from doing something like that. This isn't Instagram or Roblox or any social media for that matter. There is not monitors. You can't just simply go find the people that do that stuff and arrest them for something like that. That's not how it works. And people like zoophiles, they are not in a mental state to listen to people like us. While we can try to influence them, it would be a complete waste of your time to hate on them because they simply don't care what you say. So, sadly, that is all we can do, is just try to influence them. Take it in a polite manner because, you know. Okay, now let's talk about the sexual side of the fandom. First off, I'd like to just say, every fandom has this. It is not just the furry fandom. Every fandom you will ever see has something like this. I feel like people just use this as an excuse to have a reason to hate on us. Again, it is a sub-community. People do what they want, when they want. And it is kind of weird, but people can do what they want. They're grown-ass adults. While I do agree that it would help a lot to separate your personal life, which that is what that is, with your social life. That way it wouldn't be a problem for other people that don't like that stuff. Because some people just might happen to see it even though they didn't want to, because people post that shit on social media. But then again, stop using this as an excuse to hate on us, because that's all it is at this point.